So I go in the truck stop the other day, and I get a couple packs of cigarettes, which I know is a nasty habit. So, you know, I go get my cigarettes. There's a girl at the counter. And I had to go up there and get 2 packs of 100 soft packs. And she says, ew, you smoke cigarettes, you're part of the Newport family. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's a nasty habit or whatever. And she grabs my cigarettes or whatever. It's just small talk. She didn't mean no harm for real, just small talk. And I pay for my cigarettes. She passed me my cigarettes. And as she passed me my cigarettes, she says, well, at least your nails are clean. And, you know, us as black people, we got this thing where we'll call out our own transgressions, right? So she says, when she says that, she follows up by saying, I'm sorry for stereotyping, but your nails are clean. And, you know, I was like, well, why would my nails be clean? You know, so all that comes from this stereotype of people that smoke, they have dirty nails. So it just got me to thinking, like, all right, why do you actually like trucking? Do you actually like being on the road? We get so many stereotypes as truck drivers, right? And I see a lot of it playing out too, man. Some of y'all nasty, man. Some of y'all nasty. I can see why some of these cats out here ain't got no women. And I can see how you don't got a woman, you gotta go pay for it. Because I go in some of these bathrooms, man. If you sitting on the toilet, man, how you miss the whole toilet? You know what I'm saying? So I can just imagine how nasty niggas is. It's like, golly. But, you know, I just think about it like, do you actually like trucking? Or is it an escape? For me, I didn't know that I actually liked trucking until maybe, 2 years in. It was just a job for me. Because when I got into trucking, I was after the bread, just like a lot of people. I was after the money. And it wasn't about, I want to be a truck driver. I don't come from a family of truck drivers. You know what I'm saying? I come from a family of plant workers, man. I'm from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I come from a family of people who worked at Ford Motor Company, Chrysler. My mom's still at Chrysler right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I come from a family like that. So I don't come from a family of truckers. I didn't look at trucking as a future. You know what I'm saying? But I was standing outside, a friend of mine, almost 10 years ago, standing outside with a friend of mine, and his truck had broke down, and he had been home for a couple of weeks. And when his truck finally got back up, he had received a phone call and was like, hey man, because he had been searching for a load. So he gets this phone call and he's like, hey man, I got this load that picks up in Jackson, Mississippi. It goes to South Dakota. It pays $4,700 going that way. I'll pay you another $4,200 to pick up in South Dakota and go back to Jackson, Mississippi. And I looked at that and I said, wait a minute. He said, I would say, what now? So this is before I knew how everything goes. But majority of that bread was profit for my boy at that time because he had plenty of money in his maintenance account, in which he still stacked his maintenance account or whatever. He had plenty of money, and he independent too. He got his own truck, and he had money put up. So he just collecting dollar on top of dollar, and this is what I'm seeing, and I'm like, hey I gotta get some of this. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I jumped in the game. Like, you know what? I'm finna go get me a CDL. I didn't know. Of course, at first, getting in is like, the adventure. This is something new. Finna check this out. It's the adventure. But I also was like, man, I was working in mental health at the time. I was working 2 full-time jobs. So I'm like, man, if I'm gonna be doing this, man, I can go get on the road. I work like this, and that's what I went and did. So now, after almost 10 years, I sit back and I'm like, do I actually like trucking? And what is it about trucking that I actually like? So for me, of course, like anybody, the freedom means a lot. Another thing is, the ability to make an extensive amount of money. And of course, money is going to be involved. Like, sometimes people ask, like, I remember in orientation at Stevens, they asked, why did you get into money? Why did you get into trucking? And don't say money, because we all trying to make some money, right? So that we all in there for, but what else? The freedom, the travel, free travel, and all of that. And I didn't even look at none of that. For me, it was just a job. So of course, when it got to me, and I at that time, I could honestly just say, money. Like, it was nothing else. Nothing else. I seen my homeboy get dispatched on 2 loads that paid him $8,000. He left on a Sunday. He was back on Thursday, and made a little over $8,000. Now, what he probably profited off of that, maybe half, a little more than half. But to leave on Sunday and be back by Thursday, and you're gonna profit half of about almost $9,000. Like, hey, I want to be a part of that game. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. So I said, man, let me make a video, and I just want to pose this question: like, why are you trucking? Do you actually like trucking? Or is it just for the money? Or is it just a means to take care of family? Not the money per se, but it takes care of my family type thing. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense to anybody. Did you have any other choices outside of trucking? Was your grandfather a trucker? Was your dad a trucker? Were they both truckers? You know what I'm saying? What is it about trucking that made you say, I want to be a truck driver? And I can say clearly for me, one of my best homies made like $8,000, almost $9,000 in a week. And that's all it took for me. Like, yeah, that's what I'm going to work. And here I am almost 10 years later. So, that was the question that I had, and I wanted to pose, like, hey, I wonder, y'all just give me some feedback on that. Like, why are you trucking? And if you've been trucking for 20 years, why have you been trucking for 20 years? Like, is it what's keeping you out here for 20 years? You know what I'm saying? So, that's just something I was thinking about, because we get so many stereotypes, and it's like the stereotypes almost outweigh the job because you see the stuff. So, excuse me, y'all, but this is a real channel. I did mess around and catch a little cold, but so y'all get to see me real live. Yes, I sneezed all on camera and shit, but outside of all that, y'all, hey, like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying, share. Hey, leave comments below. I would like to know what got us out here and why we're still out here. That's all. Y'all have a good day today.